The boardroom went silent. Every executive around the table stared at the woman who had just walked in. Marcus Chen, the CEO, turned pale. His hands started shaking. "Good morning, everyone," the woman said calmly. She wore a perfect black suit and her voice was steady. "My name is Jordan Matthews. As of today, I own 70% of this company." Marcus couldn't breathe. This was the same woman. The same woman he had laughed at just 7 days ago. The same woman he refused to hire because of the color of her skin. That's impossible," Marcus whispered. Jordan smiled. It wasn't a friendly smile. "Mr. Chen, do you remember me? Last Tuesday? Your office? You told me I wasn't the right fit for your company." The other executives looked confused. The chief financial officer, David, leaned forward. "Ms. Matthews, I don't understand. How did I buy this company in 1 week?" Jordan finished his sentence. She placed her leather folder on the table. "Let me show you." Marcus felt sick. His whole world was crashing down. What had he done? But to understand how this moment happened, we need to go back. Back to where it all started. 1 week earlier, Jordan Matthews stood outside the glass building downtown. She looked up at the sign, Chen Technologies. She had worked so hard for this interview. 3 years of night school. 5 years of experience at smaller companies. She was perfect for this job. She walked through the revolving doors. The lobby was fancy. Marble floors. A huge chandelier. A water fountain in the middle. "I'm here for my interview with Mr. Chen," Jordan told the receptionist. The receptionist, a young blonde woman named Ashley, looked her up and down. Her smile seemed fake. "Take the elevator to the 10th floor." Jordan noticed the look but ignored it. She had seen that look before. She rode the elevator up, practicing what she would say in her head. The 10th floor was even fancier. Big windows showed the whole city. Expensive paintings hung on the walls. Jordan walked to the secretary's desk. "Jordan Matthews. I have a 10 o'clock appointment." The secretary barely looked up from her computer. "Sit there. He'll call you." Jordan sat in the waiting area. She checked her resume one more time. Everything was perfect. She had every qualification they asked for. She had more experience than they required. This job was supposed to be hers. 20 minutes passed. Then 40. Then an hour. Finally, the secretary said, "You can go in now." Jordan walked into Marcus Chen's office. It was huge. Floor-to-ceiling windows. A desk bigger than her kitchen table. Marcus sat behind it looking at his phone. He didn't look up when she entered. "Mr. Chen? I'm Jordan Matthews." Marcus finally looked at her. His eyes went from her face to her outstretched hand. He didn't shake it. "Sit down," he said flatly. Jordan sat. She tried to ignore the bad feeling in her stomach. "So, Jordan," Marcus said, still looking at his phone more than at her. "Tell me why you want to work here." Jordan began her prepared speech. She talked about her experience with software development. She mentioned the 3 major projects she had completed at her last job. She explained her vision for improving their customer service platform. Marcus barely listened. He scrolled through his phone. He checked his watch. He looked out the window. "Mr. Chen," Jordan said. "Are you listening?" Yeah, Marcus waved his hand. "Look, Jordan. I'll be honest with you. You seem nice. But I don't think you're the right fit for our company culture." Jordan's heart sank. "But I have all the qualifications. I have more experience than—" "It's not about qualifications," Marcus interrupted. "It's about fit. You wouldn't understand." "What does that mean?" Marcus stood up. "It means this interview is over. Ashley will show you out." Jordan stood too. Her hands were shaking, but not from fear. From anger. "Is this because I'm black?" Marcus's face turned red. "Excuse me? That's a serious accusation. I could sue you for that. Answer the question." "Get out of my office," Marcus said coldly. "Security." 2 security guards appeared at the door. They were both big men with serious faces. "Escort Ms. Matthews out of the building," Marcus ordered. "And add her to our do not hire list." Jordan couldn't believe this was happening. "You can't do this." This is discrimination. It's illegal. Marcus laughed. Actually laughed. Prove it. It's your word against mine. And I'm the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. Who's going to believe you? The security guards took Jordan by her arms. Not roughly but firmly. They walked her to the elevator. People in the office stopped working to watch. They whispered to each other. Jordan felt tears burning in her eyes, but she wouldn't cry. Not here. Not in front of these people. The elevator ride down felt like forever. When they reached the lobby, the guards let her go. Sorry, miss, one of them said quietly. Just following orders. Jordan walked out into the sunshine. She made it to her car before the tears finally came. She sat in the driver's seat and cried. She had worked so hard. She had done everything right. And it didn't matter. It never mattered. She wiped her eyes and started her car. She had to get home. She had to think. But as Jordan drove away, she didn't know something important. Something that would change everything. In her purse was a business card. A card she had picked up at a networking event 3 months ago. A card from someone very powerful. Someone who could help her. And Marcus Chen had no idea what was coming for him. Jordan drove home to her small apartment. It wasn't much. 1 bedroom. Old furniture. But it was hers. She threw her purse on the couch and went to make tea. Tea always helped her think. As she waited for the water to boil, Jordan thought about her life. Her mother had cleaned houses for rich families. Her father had worked 2 jobs just to pay rent. They had both told her the same thing. Work hard. Get an education. Things will be different for you. But things weren't different. Not really. Jordan's phone buzzed. It was her best friend, Monica. How'd the interview go? Monica's text said. Jordan didn't want to talk about it. She texted back, call you later. The tea kettle whistled. Jordan poured herself a cup and sat on her couch. Her purse had fallen over, and everything had spilled out. Her wallet. Her keys. Her lip gloss. And that business card. Jordan picked it up. The card was simple. Black letters on white paper. It said, Victoria Sterling. Private equity investor. Jordan remembered meeting Victoria at a tech conference. Victoria was a black woman in her 50s. She was powerful, confident, and rich. Very rich. They had talked for hours about the tech industry and the problems women of color faced. If you ever need anything, Victoria had said, handing Jordan her card. And I mean anything. Call me. Jordan had thought it was just polite talk. Rich people said things like that all the time. They didn't mean it. But what if Victoria had meant it? Jordan picked up her phone. Her finger hovered over the numbers. Should she call? What would she even say? Before she could change her mind, Jordan dialed the number. The phone rang once. Twice. 3 times. Victoria Sterling. The voice was exactly how Jordan remembered. Professional. Miss Sterling? This is Jordan Matthews. We met at the tech conference in March. I don't know if you remember me, but... Jordan. Of course I remember you. The brilliant software developer who designed that amazing customer service platform. How are you? Jordan was surprised Victoria remembered her. I've had a bad day. Tell me about it. So Jordan did. She told Victoria everything. About the interview. About Marcus Chen. About being escorted out by security. About feeling hopeless. When Jordan finished, there was silence on the other end of the line. Victoria? Are you still there? I'm here, Victoria said. Her voice had changed. It was colder now. Harder. Jordan, can you come to my office tomorrow? I want to show you something. Your office? Yes, I can come. Good. Come at 9 in the morning. The address is on my card. What is this about? Victoria's voice became warm again. Justice, Jordan. This is about justice. The next morning, Jordan stood outside Victoria's office building. It was even fancier than Chen Technologies. The entire building was black glass and steel. It reached up into the sky like a giant tower. Inside, everything was elegant. Modern art on the walls. Expensive furniture. And quiet. So quiet that Jordan's footsteps echoed on the marble floor. "You must be Ms. Matthews," said a woman at the front desk. She was smiling. A real smile. "Miss Sterling is expecting you. Top floor." The elevator had a code. The receptionist entered it and the doors closed. Jordan watched the numbers climb. 10, 20, 40, 50. The doors opened directly into Victoria's office. No hallway. No waiting room. Just straight into the biggest office Jordan had ever seen. Victoria stood by the windows, looking out at the city. She turned when Jordan entered. "Jordan, come in, come in." They hugged. Victoria was tall and elegant. She wore a cream-colored suit that probably cost more than Jordan's car. "Sit down," Victoria said, pointing to a white leather couch. "Can I get you anything? Coffee? Water?" "I'm fine, thank you." Victoria sat across from Jordan. She studied Jordan's face for a long moment. "You know," Victoria said slowly, "when I was your age, something similar happened to me. A white man told me I wasn't the right fit. He made me feel small. Worthless. Like all my hard work meant nothing." "What did you do?" Victoria smiled. It was a scary smile. "I bought his company. Then I fired him." Jordan's eyes went wide. "You bought his company?" "Yes. And I can help you do the same thing to Marcus Chen." "What? That's impossible. I don't have that kind of money. I can barely pay my rent." Victoria stood up and walked to her desk. She picked up a folder and brought it back to Jordan. "This," Victoria said, opening the folder, "is everything about Chen Technologies. Their finances. Their investors. Everything." Jordan looked at the papers. Numbers and charts filled every page. "I don't understand." "Chen Technologies is in trouble," Victoria explained. "Marcus Chen is a terrible businessman. He's made bad decisions. Lost money. His investors are getting nervous. In fact, 70% of the company is about to go up for sale. The current investors want out. So I'm going to buy it. And you're going to help me." Jordan's head was spinning. "Why would you do this? You don't even know me." Victoria sat back down. Her face became serious. "Jordan, I've spent 30 years building my fortune. I've made millions. But you know what I haven't been able to do? Change the system. Men like Marcus Chen keep treating people like us as if we don't matter. I'm tired of it. This is bigger than just you or me. This is about sending a message." "What kind of message?" "That we're not going away. That we have power. And that actions have consequences." Jordan felt something stirring in her chest. Anger? Maybe both. "What would I have to do?" Victoria smiled. "First, we need to make sure the sale goes through. That will take a few days. Then, next week, you and I are going to walk into that boardroom together. And you're going to watch Marcus Chen's face when he realizes who his new boss is." "This feels like a dream." "It's not a dream," Victoria said firmly. "It's justice. So, are you in?" Jordan thought about her mother cleaning toilets for people who looked down on her. She thought about her father coming home exhausted every night. She thought about every time someone had judged her because of her skin color. "I'm in." "Good. Now let's get to work." The next few days were crazy. Jordan went to Victoria's office every day. They met with lawyers. They looked at financial documents. They planned every detail. Jordan learned that Victoria wasn't just rich. She was incredibly rich. She had made her money by investing in tech companies when they were small, then selling them when they grew big. She knew how business worked. She knew how to find weaknesses in companies. And she knew how to take advantage of those weaknesses. "Chen Technologies is bleeding money," Victoria explained on the third day. "Marcus Chen spent too much on a new product that failed. He borrowed money to cover it up. Now he's desperate. His current investors know this. That's why they're selling." "How much will it cost to buy 70%? $42 million. Jordan almost choked on her coffee. $42 million? "Don't worry. I have it." "But why? Why spend so much money just to teach someone a lesson?" Victoria looked at Jordan seriously. "Because some lessons need to be expensive. And because I believe in you. When this is over, I want you to work for me. really work for me as my partner. But first, we need to show men like Marcus Chen that they can't treat us like garbage. On Friday, Victoria got the call. The sale was approved. She now owns 70% of Chen Technologies. Marcus Chen had no idea. The sale was done so quietly that nobody knew except the investors and the lawyers. It's done, Victoria told Jordan. Monday morning, we go in. Jordan could barely sleep that weekend. She was excited. Angry. Happy. Everything all at once. Monday morning came. Jordan put on her best suit. The same one she had worn to the interview. She looked at herself in the mirror. This is it, she whispered to her reflection. Victoria picked Jordan up in a black car with a driver. They didn't talk much on the way to Chen Technologies. They both knew what was about to happen. When they pulled up to the building, Jordan's heart was pounding. Ready? Victoria asked. Ready. They walked through the revolving doors together. The same receptionist, Ashley, was at the desk. Can I help you? Ashley asked. She didn't recognize Jordan. We're here for the board meeting, Victoria said smoothly. Top floor. Ashley checked her computer. Her face went pale. Oh, yes, Miss Sterling. Right away. They rode the elevator up. Jordan's hands were sweating. The doors opened on the 10th floor. The secretary's desk was empty. They could hear voices coming from the boardroom down the hall. Let's do this, Victoria said. They walked down the hall. Victoria opened the boardroom door without knocking. And that's when Jordan saw Marcus Chen's face. That's when the room went silent. That's when Victoria said, My name is Victoria Sterling, and this is Jordan Matthews. As of Friday, we own 70% of this company. Marcus looked like he might faint. His face went from red to white to red again. You, he whispered, staring at Jordan. You. Yes, Jordan said calmly. Me. The CFO, David, stood up. I don't understand. Ms. Sterling, you own the company now. That's correct. And I've already made my first decision as majority owner. Victoria pulled out a document from her folder. Marcus Chen, you're fired. Effective immediately. Marcus Chen's face turned purple. You can't fire me. I built this company from nothing. Actually, Victoria said calmly, I can fire you. I own 70%. You own 15%. The math is simple. Jordan watched Marcus struggle to breathe. Part of her felt satisfied. Part of her felt sad. This was the man who had humiliated her just 1 week ago. This is because of her, isn't it? Marcus pointed at Jordan. His hand was shaking. This is revenge. No, Victoria said. This is business. Bad CEOs get fired. That's how it works. David, the CFO, cleared his throat. Miss Sterling, if I may ask, what are your plans for the company? I'm glad you asked. Victoria smiled. Jordan Matthews will be the new Chief Technology Officer. She'll report directly to me as I take over as CEO temporarily. The other executives started whispering to each other. Jordan could hear some of what they said. Who is she? The woman Marcus rejected last week. This is insane. Marcus slammed his hand on the table. I'll sue you. Both of you. This is discrimination. Jordan finally spoke. Her voice was quiet but strong. Discrimination? Like when you rejected me because of my skin color. I never said that. You didn't have to. Marcus grabbed his briefcase. His hands were shaking so badly he could barely hold it. You'll regret this. Both of you. I have friends. Powerful friends. They'll destroy you. Your friends are the investors who just sold me this company, Victoria said. They're tired of losing money because of your bad decisions. Now, security will escort you out. You have 1 hour to clear your office. 2 security guards entered. The same 2 who had escorted Jordan out last week. They recognized her. Their eyes went wide. Mr. Chen, one guard said. Please come with us. Marcus looked around the room. None of the executives would meet his eyes. He was alone. This isn't over, Marcus hissed at Jordan. Then he left. The door slammed behind him. The room was silent for a long moment. Finally, David spoke again. Miss Sterling, Ms. Matthews? I think I speak for everyone when I say we're in shock. But I want to keep my job. What do you need from us? Victoria sat down at the head of the table. Jordan sat next to her. I need honesty. I need hard work. And I need you to understand that things are going to change around here. Anyone who has a problem with that can leave now. Nobody moved. Good, Victoria said. Now, let's talk about how we're going to fix this company. The meeting lasted 3 hours. Jordan mostly listened. She learned about all the problems Marcus had created. Money problems. Employee problems. Customer problems. The company was a mess. When the meeting finally ended, the executives filed out. Some looked angry. Some looked scared. A few looked curious. David was the last to leave. He stopped at the door and looked back at Jordan. For what it's worth, he said, I'm sorry about what happened last week. Some of us thought it was wrong. But Marcus was the boss. And now he's not, Jordan said. David nodded and left. Finally, Jordan and Victoria were alone in the boardroom. Jordan let out a long breath. Her whole body felt tired. You did great, Victoria said. I barely said anything. Sometimes that's the smartest thing to do. But listen. Learn. Jordan walked to the window. She could see the whole city from up here. Victoria, I don't know if I can do this. I'm not qualified to be a CTO. I've never managed a whole department. You'll learn. I'll teach you. That's what mentors do. Why are you really doing this? And don't say justice. There's something else. Victoria joined Jordan at the window. For a moment, she looked sad. When I was 25, I had a daughter. Her name was Michelle. She was brilliant. Smart like you. She wanted to be a software engineer. What happened to her? She went to interview at a tech company. The CEO rejected her. Told her she wasn't the right fit. Michelle was so hurt. She stopped trying. She gave up on her dreams. Victoria's voice cracked. She works at a grocery store now. She's happy, but I see what could have been. Every day. Jordan felt tears in her eyes. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Be better. Be the person Michelle could have been. Show the world what happens when we actually get the chances we deserve. Jordan nodded. I will. I promise. Good. Now come on. We need to go see your new office. They walked down the hall. Past Marcus's old office. The door was open. Inside, Marcus was throwing things into a box. Papers. Photos. A trophy from some award. He looked up and saw them watching. His eyes were red. He'd been crying. Enjoying the show? Marcus said bitterly. No, Jordan said honestly. I don't enjoy this. But you did this to yourself. I was just protecting my company. From what? From me? From talented people who don't look like you. Jordan shook her head. That's not protection. That's fear. Marcus opened his mouth to respond, but no words came out. What could he say? She was right. Victoria touched Jordan's arm. Come on. Let's go. They left Marcus alone with his box of memories. Jordan's new office was 3 doors down from the boardroom. It was big. Not as big as Marcus's office had been, but still impressive. Windows on 2 walls. A huge desk. Bookshelves. A small couch. It's perfect, Jordan whispered. It's yours. Fill it with whatever you want. Victoria checked her watch. I have to make some calls. Take the rest of the day to settle in. Tomorrow, the real work begins. After Victoria left, Jordan sat at her new desk. She ran her hands over the smooth wood. This was real. This was actually happening. Her phone buzzed. It was Monica. Girl, I just saw the news. You're the CTO of Chen Technologies. What happened? Jordan smiled. It's a long story. I'll tell you tonight. You better. I'm bringing wine. Jordan put her phone down and spun in her chair. She looked out at the city. Somewhere out there, other young black women were being rejected. Being told they weren't good enough. Being made to feel small. But now they had one more example. One more story. Proof that sometimes, the people who reject you end up working for you. Jordan was still smiling when someone knocked on her door. Come in, she called. It was Sarah, one of the executives from the meeting. She was a white woman in her 40s with short blonde hair. Ms. Matthews? Do you have a minute? Of course. Please, sit down. Sarah sat on the edge of the chair. She looked nervous. I wanted to apologize. I was in the office last week when Marcus had you escorted out. I should have said something. I should have stood up for you. But I didn't. I was afraid of losing my job. Jordan thought about this. What's your role here? I'm VP of Human Resources. So you knew what Marcus was doing was wrong? Yes. But you did nothing? Sarah's eyes filled with tears. I'm not proud of it. But yes. I did nothing. Jordan leaned back in her chair. This was her first real test as a leader. What should she do? Fire Sarah? Forgive her? Something in between? Sarah, I appreciate your honesty. But doing nothing is still doing something. Your silence protected Marcus. It hurt me. And it probably hurt other people too. I know. I'm so sorry. Sorry isn't enough. If you want to keep your job, things have to change. Really change. I want a full report on every hiring decision Marcus made in the last 3 years. I want to see if there's a pattern. And I want new policies in place to make sure this never happens again. Sarah wiped her eyes. You'll have it. I promise. Thank you for giving me a chance. After Sarah left, Jordan felt exhausted. Being in charge was hard. Every decision mattered. Every word had weight. She decided to go home early. She'd done enough for one day. As Jordan rode the elevator down, she passed Marcus in the lobby. He was carrying his box, heading toward the exit. He saw her and stopped. They looked at each other for a long moment. I hope you fail, Marcus said quietly. I hope this company crashes and burns. It won't, Jordan said. Because unlike you, I actually care about the people who work here. Marcus walked away without another word. Jordan went to her car. As she drove home, her phone rang. It was a number she didn't recognize. Hello. Jordan Matthews? The voice was male. Angry. Yes. Who is this? My name is Richard Blackwood. I'm Marcus Chen's lawyer. I'm calling to inform you that we're filing a lawsuit against you and Victoria Sterling for wrongful termination and defamation. Jordan's heart sank. What? You'll be served with papers tomorrow. I'd suggest you get a lawyer. A good one. The phone went dead. Jordan pulled over to the side of the road. Her hands were shaking. A lawsuit? Already? She called Victoria immediately. Jordan? What's wrong? Marcus is suing us. His lawyer just called me. There was a pause. Then Victoria laughed. Actually laughed. Of course he is. Don't worry about it. Don't worry? Victoria, I can't afford a lawyer. You don't need to afford one. I have an entire legal team. This is just Marcus being desperate. The lawsuit won't go anywhere. Trust me. Are you sure? Positive. Now go home. Tomorrow is going to be a long day. Jordan hung up. She wanted to believe Victoria, but she couldn't shake the bad feeling in her stomach. She drove home and found Monica already waiting outside her apartment with 2 bottles of wine. Tell me everything. Monica demanded. So Jordan did. She told Monica the whole story while they drank wine and ate pizza. Monica's eyes got bigger and bigger. This is insane. Monica said, You're like a superhero. Revenge woman. Jordan laughed. I'm not a superhero. I'm just someone who got lucky. Lucky? Girl, you worked hard for this. You deserve it. They talked until midnight. When Monica finally left, Jordan felt better. Having a friend who believed in her made everything easier. But as Jordan lay in bed that night, she couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about Marcus's face. About the lawsuit. About all the responsibility she now had. What if she failed? What if Marcus was right and the company crashed? What if she wasn't good enough? Jordan's phone lit up with a text message. It was from an unknown number. You made a powerful enemy today. Watch your back. Jordan's blood ran cold. Sent this. Marcus? Someone else? She got out of bed and checked all her locks. She looked out the window. The street was empty. She tried to convince herself it was just an empty threat. But deep down, Jordan knew something was wrong. And tomorrow she would find out just how wrong things could get. Jordan barely slept. Every sound made her jump. Every shadow seemed dangerous. When morning finally came, she felt exhausted. She got dressed and checked her phone. 3 missed calls from Victoria. Jordan called back immediately. "Where are you?" Victoria sounded stressed. "You need to get to the office now." "What's wrong?" "Just get here. Fast." Jordan drove to the office, breaking every speed limit. Her heart pounded the whole way. What could have happened overnight? When she arrived, the lobby was filled with reporters. Cameras. Microphones. People shouting questions. "Ms. Matthews, is it true you blackmailed your way into the company? Ms. Matthews, did you and Victoria Sterling plan this revenge scheme? Ms. Matthews, how does it feel to destroy a man's career?" Jordan pushed through the crowd. Security helped her get to the elevator. Her hands were shaking as the doors closed. On the 10th floor, it was chaos. Employees stood in groups, whispering. Some were crying. Others looked angry. Jordan rushed to Victoria's office. Victoria was on the phone, yelling at someone. When she saw Jordan, she hung up. "What's happening?" Jordan asked. Victoria threw a newspaper across her desk. "This." Jordan picked it up. The headline made her stomach drop. "Revenge Scheme. Black Woman and Investor Conspire to Destroy White CEO's Career." The article was terrible. It said Jordan and Victoria had planned everything from the beginning. That Jordan deliberately went to the interview knowing she'd be rejected. That they used it as an excuse to take over the company. It painted Marcus as the victim. "This is all lies," Jordan said. "I know. But people are believing it." Victoria rubbed her temples. Marcus went to the press. He's playing the victim card. And it's working. Jordan's phone started ringing. Her mother. Her father. Monica. Her old co-workers. Everyone wanted to know if the story was true. "What do we do?" Jordan asked. "We fight back. I've called a press conference for this afternoon. We're going to tell the truth." But before they could plan anything else, David burst into the office. His face was red and he was breathing hard. "We have a problem. A big problem." "What now?" Victoria asked. 6 of our major clients just canceled their contracts. They said they don't want to work with a company involved in a scandal. Jordan felt like the room was spinning. 6 clients? How much money is that? David's voice was quiet. $15 million. Gone. Victoria closed her eyes. We can handle this." "There's more," David said. 20 employees quit this morning. They're saying they don't feel safe working here. They think this whole thing was a setup." Jordan sat down hard in a chair. This was falling apart. Everything was falling apart. "Marcus is destroying us," she whispered. "No," Victoria said firmly. "He's trying to destroy us. But we're not going to let him. David, get me a list of every client we still have. We're going to call each one personally. Jordan, we need to prepare for the press conference." The next few hours were a blur. Victoria and Jordan made phone calls. They talked to lawyers. They wrote a statement. Through the window, Jordan could see more reporters gathering outside. At 2 o'clock, they went downstairs to face the press. Jordan's legs felt like jelly. She'd never been on TV before. Never had hundreds of people staring at her, judging her. Victoria stood at the podium. Jordan stood beside her. Camera flashes went off like lightning. "Thank you for coming," Victoria began. "I'm here to address the false allegations made by Marcus Chen." A reporter shouted, "Is it true you planned this as revenge?" "Let me finish," Victoria said calmly. "Jordan Matthews came to me after being discriminated against. I investigated Chen Technologies and found it was poorly managed and losing money. I made a business decision to invest. That's all." "But the timing seems suspicious," another reporter yelled. Jordan stepped forward. Her voice shook at first but got stronger. "I went to that interview qualified and prepared. Marcus Chen rejected me without even looking at my resume. He had security throw me out. That's not business. That's discrimination." "Do you have proof?" a reporter asked. I have my experience. I have my qualifications. I have the fact that he couldn't name one professional reason not to hire me. The questions kept coming. Some reporters seemed sympathetic. Others seemed hostile. After 30 minutes, Victoria ended the press conference. Back in the office, Jordan collapsed on Victoria's couch. Did we help or make it worse? I don't know, Victoria admitted. We'll find out soon enough. Jordan's phone rang again. This time it was a number she recognized. Sarah from HR. Jordan? You need to come to the 4th floor. Now. What's wrong? Just come. Hurry. Jordan and Victoria rushed to the 4th floor. A crowd of employees stood outside the break room. They were all staring at something on the wall. Jordan pushed through the crowd. Someone had spray painted a message on the wall in red paint. Go home. You don't belong here. Jordan felt sick. She touched the wall. The paint was still wet. Who did this? Victoria demanded. Nobody answered. The employees just stared at the floor. Sarah stepped forward. The security cameras in this hallway were mysteriously turned off between noon and 1 o'clock. Whoever did this knew what they were doing. Jordan looked at the faces around her. Some looked sympathetic. Some looked away. But a few looked satisfied. Like they agreed with the message. Everyone back to work, Victoria said loudly. Now. The crowd dispersed slowly. Jordan stared at the message until maintenance came to paint over it. This is getting dangerous, Jordan said quietly. I know. I'm hiring personal security for both of us. Starting tomorrow. Victoria, maybe we should just sell the company. Walk away. This isn't worth it. Victoria grabbed Jordan's shoulders and looked her in the eyes. That's exactly what Marcus wants. He wants us to quit. To give up. Are we going to let him win? Jordan thought about her parents. About every time someone told her she wasn't good enough. About every door that had been slammed in her face. No, Jordan said. We're not. Good. Now let's get back to work. But as they walked back to the elevator, Jordan noticed something. A car parked across the street. Someone sat inside, watching the building. When Jordan looked directly at them, the car drove away quickly. That night, Jordan drove home with her doors locked and her eyes on the rearview mirror. The threatening text from last night felt more real now. She called Monica. Can I stay at your place tonight? Of course. What's wrong? I'll tell you when I get there. Jordan packed a bag and headed to Monica's apartment. She kept checking her mirrors. No one seemed to be following her, but she couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. At Monica's, Jordan finally felt safe enough to relax. They ordered Chinese food and watched the news. The story about Chen Technologies was everywhere. Some reporters supported Jordan. Others supported Marcus. The internet was divided. Social media was a war zone. You've become famous, Monica said. I don't want to be famous. I just wanted a job. Jordan's phone buzzed. A text from David. Check your email. Important. Jordan opened her laptop. The email was from an anonymous account. The subject line said, "You need to see this." Inside was a video file. Should I open it? Jordan asked Monica. Maybe it's a virus. Or maybe it's important. Jordan clicked the file. A video started playing. It showed Marcus Chen in his office. He was talking to someone off camera. I don't care if she's qualified, Marcus's voice said. She doesn't fit our image. We're a high-end company. Our clients expect a certain look. You mean white? The other voice asked. I didn't say that. But yes, that's exactly what I mean. We need to keep our brand consistent. The video ended. Jordan and Monica stared at the screen in shock. He just admitted to discrimination, Monica whispered. On camera. Who sent this? Jordan wondered. Her phone rang. A known number. Jordan hesitated, then answered. Hello. Did you watch the video? It was a woman's voice. Nervous. Who is this? I was Marcus's assistant. My name is Emma. I recorded that conversation 3 months ago. I should have done something then, but I was scared. I'm sorry. Why are you sending this now? Because I saw what he's doing to you. The lies he's telling. It's not right. That video is proof. Use it. Thank you. Can you? But Emma had already hung up. Jordan immediately called Victoria and sent her the video. Victoria called back 2 minutes later. This changes everything, Victoria said. With this video, Marcus's lawsuit is dead. And we can prove discrimination. Should we release it to the press? Not yet. First, we send it to our lawyers. Then we send it to Marcus's lawyers. Let them know we have evidence. They'll drop the lawsuit immediately. Jordan felt hope for the first time all day. So we're going to be okay? We're going to be better than okay. We're going to win. The next morning, Jordan woke up to her phone exploding with notifications. She checked the news. The headline made her smile. Video evidence proves CEO's discrimination, Chen Technologies scandal takes new turn. Someone had leaked the video. It was everywhere. On every news site. All over social media. Millions of people had watched it. Jordan's phone rang. It was Victoria. Did you leak the video? Victoria asked. No. I thought you did. I didn't. Our lawyers didn't. So who did? They both realized at the same time, Emma. Marcus's former assistant must have sent it to the press too. Well, Victoria said, it's out now. Let's use it. Jordan drove to the office. This time, the reporters outside were different. They were asking different questions. Ms. Matthews, how does it feel to be vindicated? Ms. Matthews, will you be pressing charges against Marcus Chen? Ms. Matthews, what's your message to other women who face discrimination? Jordan stopped and faced the cameras. My message is simple. Don't give up. Don't let anyone tell you you're not good enough. And if someone discriminates against you, fight back. You have more power than you think. Inside the building, everything had changed. Employees smiled at her. Some even applauded as she walked by. The same people who had whispered about her yesterday were now on her side. In Victoria's office, good news kept coming. 3 of the 6 clients who had canceled came back. 10 employees who had quit wanted their jobs back. The lawsuit was officially dropped. We did it, Jordan said. We actually did it. Not yet, Victoria warned. Marcus is cornered now. And cornered animals are the most dangerous. Victoria was right to be worried. That afternoon, the fire alarm went off. Everyone evacuated the building. Fire trucks arrived, sirens blaring. But there was no fire. Someone had pulled the alarm as a prank. Or a threat. No one knew which. Then at 4 o'clock, the police arrived. They went straight to Victoria's office. Victoria Sterling, one officer said, we have a warrant for your arrest. Jordan's heart stopped. What? For what? Securities fraud. We have evidence that you manipulated stock prices to force the sale of Chen Technologies. That's absurd. Jordan said. She did nothing illegal. But the officers handcuffed Victoria anyway. As they led her away, Victoria looked back at Jordan. Call my lawyer. Don't worry. This is just Marcus's last desperate move. Jordan stood frozen as Victoria disappeared into the elevator. Around her, employees whispered and stared. David appeared at her side. Jordan, you're in charge now. What do we do? Jordan looked around at all the worried faces. The company was falling apart. Victoria was arrested. Marcus was attacking from every angle. This was the moment. Jordan could run, could quit, could give up, or she could fight. Jordan took a deep breath. Call an emergency meeting. All department heads. Conference room. 10 minutes. What are you going to tell them? The truth. That we're in trouble. But we're not giving up. As David rushed off to gather everyone, Jordan looked out the window. Down below, she could see the police car driving away with Victoria inside. And across the street, partially hidden in shadow, Marcus Chen stood watching. Even from this distance, Jordan could see him smiling. The conference room was packed. Every department head was there. They all looked scared. Some were already updating their resumes on their phones. Jordan stood at the front of the room. Her hands were sweating, but she kept her voice steady. I know you're all worried, Jordan began. Victoria was arrested. The press is destroying us. Clients are nervous. But we're not done yet. With all due respect, said Tom from marketing, how can we survive this? Our CEO is in jail. She's not in jail. She's at the police station. And she'll be out soon because she didn't do anything wrong. This is a setup. How do you know? Someone asked. Because Marcus Chen is desperate. He's throwing everything at us, hoping something sticks. The discrimination video destroyed his reputation. This fraud charge is his last weapon. Sarah from HR raised her hand. Jordan, what do you need from us? I need you to keep working. Keep the company running. Show our clients that we're stable. We can't let Marcus win. Slowly, people started nodding. Not everyone was convinced, but enough were willing to try. The meeting lasted an hour. When it ended, Jordan immediately called Victoria's lawyer. She'll be out in a few hours, the lawyer said. The charges are ridiculous. They have no real evidence. Marcus probably paid someone to file a false complaint. Can we prove that? We're working on it. Jordan hung up and realized she hadn't eaten all day. Her stomach was empty, but she felt too anxious to eat. Instead, she made coffee and started going through emails. One email caught her attention. The sender was a friend. The message said, "Look into Marcus's business partner, Robert Flynn. He's the key to everything." Jordan had never heard of Robert Flynn. She did a quick internet search. Robert Flynn was a businessman who had invested in several of Marcus's ventures. They'd been friends for 20 years. Jordan called David. Do we have any files on Robert Flynn? Flynn? Yeah, he was one of the investors who sold their shares to Victoria. Why? Can you send me everything we have on him? Sure. Give me 10 minutes. While Jordan waited, she got another call. A known number. She almost didn't answer, but something made her pick up. Hello. Jordan Matthews? It was a man's voice. Not threatening, just tired. My name is Robert Flynn. Jordan's breath caught. How did you get this number? That doesn't matter. I need to meet with you. Tonight. It's about Marcus. Why should I trust you? Because I'm the one who helped Victoria buy the company. And I'm the one who can prove Marcus filed those fraud charges using fake evidence. Jordan's mind raced. This could be a trap. Or it could be the answer to everything. Where do you want to meet? There's a coffee shop on 5th and Main. Come alone. 8 o'clock. The line went dead. Jordan stared at her phone. Should she go? Should she tell someone? This felt dangerous. She called Monica. I need your advice. After explaining everything, Monica was firm. Don't go alone. That's how people end up dead in movies. But what if he really has evidence? Then he can meet you somewhere public with witnesses. Not some mysterious meeting at night. Monica was right. Jordan called the number back, but it went straight to voicemail. She left a message. Mr. Flynn, I'll meet you at the coffee shop, but I'm bringing someone with me. If that's a problem, don't show up. At 7:30, Jordan and David drove to the coffee shop together. David had insisted on coming when Jordan told him about the call. If this is a setup, you need a witness, David had said. The coffee shop was busy. People typing on laptops. Students studying. Regular people living regular lives. Jordan almost envied them. They sat at a corner table. 8 o'clock came. No Robert Flynn. 8:15. Still nothing. Maybe he's not coming, David said. Then, at 8:20, an older white man walked in. He was probably 60, with gray hair and an expensive suit. He looked around nervously, spotted Jordan, and walked over. Ms. Matthews? Mr. Flynn. This is David, our CFO. He stays. Robert hesitated, then sat down. He pulled out a thick envelope from his jacket. Everything you need is in here. Jordan opened the envelope. Inside were documents. Bank statements. Emails. Text messages. What am I looking at? Jordan asked. Proof that Marcus Chen embezzled money from the company. He's been doing it for 2 years. Small amounts at first, then larger. That's why the company was really in trouble. Not because of bad business decisions. Because Marcus was stealing. David grabbed some of the papers. His eyes went wide. These bank statements. This is Marcus's personal account. How did you get these? I'm his business partner. was his business partner. Marcus got greedy and sloppy. When I found out what he was doing, I wanted out. That's why I sold my shares to Victoria. Why didn't you go to the police? Jordan asked. Robert looked ashamed. Because some of that money, a small amount, I knew about it. If Marcus goes down, I could go down too. But what he's doing to you and Victoria isn't right. So I'm giving you this evidence. Use it however you want. Just leave me out of it. I can't promise that, Jordan said honestly. If you knew about the embezzlement, you're guilty too. I know. But I'm trying to do the right thing now. Better late than never. Robert stood up. There's one more thing. Marcus is planning something big. I don't know what exactly, but he met with some dangerous people yesterday. People who don't ask questions if you pay them enough. Jordan felt cold. What kind of dangerous people? The kind who make problems disappear. Be careful, Ms. Matthews. Marcus has lost everything. He has nothing left to lose. Robert walked out of the coffee shop quickly. Jordan and David sat in silence, staring at the envelope. We need to take this to the police, David said. Tonight. And Victoria's lawyer, Jordan added. This proves the fraud charges against her are fake. If Marcus was embezzling, he probably filed those charges to distract everyone from his own crimes. They drove straight to the police station. Victoria was being released just as they arrived. She looked tired but relieved. Perfect timing, Victoria said. They're dropping the charges. They realized they had no real evidence. We have something better, Jordan said, holding up the envelope. Evidence that Marcus is the real criminal. They spent 2 hours at the police station, showing the documents to detectives. By the time they left, the police had opened an official investigation into Marcus Chen. This is it, Victoria said as they walked to their cars. Marcus is finished. Really finished this time. But Jordan couldn't shake Robert's warning. Victoria, Robert said Marcus met with dangerous people. What if he's planning to hurt us? The security team I hired starts tomorrow. They'll protect us. What about tonight? Victoria paused. Come stay at my house. Both of you. It's gated and has security cameras everywhere. We'll be safe there. Jordan and David agreed. They stopped at their apartments to grab overnight bags, then drove to Victoria's house. It was enormous. A mansion in the hills with gates and guards. Inside, Victoria poured them all wine. Let's celebrate. We won. But Jordan couldn't relax. Something felt wrong. She kept looking out the windows into the dark. At midnight, Jordan's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. You think you're safe? Check the news. Jordan turned on the TV. The news anchor looked serious. Breaking news tonight. Chen Technologies headquarters was broken into less than an hour ago. Police say the vandals destroyed computers, stole files, and spray-painted threatening messages throughout the building. No suspects have been identified, but sources say this may be connected to the ongoing scandal involving former CEO Marcus Chen. Jordan's wine glass slipped from her hand and shattered on the floor. No. No, no, no. Victoria and David crowded around the TV. They watched footage of their office. Broken windows. Destroyed furniture. And on the wall in huge red letters, "This is just the beginning." We need to get down there, Victoria said, already grabbing her car keys. The police are already investigating. We can't go there now. It's a crime scene, David said. Jordan's phone rang. It was Sarah from HR. Her voice was panicked. Jordan. They broke into the HR files. All the employee records are gone. Social security numbers, addresses, everything. What? How is that possible? Aren't those files encrypted? They were. But someone knew the passwords. This wasn't random vandals. This was someone who knew exactly what they were doing. After Sarah hung up, Jordan turned to Victoria. This is an inside job. Someone who works for us helped Marcus do this. But who? David asked. Who would risk going to jail for him? Jordan thought about the employees who had quit. The ones who had looked satisfied when they saw the spray-painted message. People who are still loyal to Marcus. People who think we're the villains. Victoria paced the room. Tomorrow we're going to install new security. Change all passwords. Review every single employee. Anyone who seems suspicious gets investigated. What about the stolen employee data? David asked. If Marcus has everyone's personal information, he could destroy lives. Identity theft, blackmail, anything. Jordan felt sick. This had gone from a business battle to something much darker. We need to warn every employee. Tell them to freeze their credit, change passwords, watch for suspicious activity. They spent the rest of the night making plans. By the time the sun came up, Jordan had been awake for 24 hours straight. She felt like a zombie. At 7 a.m., Jordan's phone rang. It was a 911 operator. Is this Jordan Matthews? Yes. What's wrong? Your apartment building is on fire. The fire department is there now. I'm calling the number listed as your emergency contact. Jordan couldn't breathe. Her apartment. Everything she owned. Is anyone hurt? No injuries reported. The fire started in your unit but was contained quickly. Investigators say it looks like arson. Victoria and David heard the conversation. Victoria grabbed Jordan's hand. You're staying with me. As long as you need to. Jordan nodded numbly. She couldn't even cry. She was beyond tears. Marcus wasn't just attacking the company anymore. He was attacking Jordan personally. Her home. Her safety. Her life. This has to stop, Jordan said quietly. We have to end this. How? David asked. The police are investigating him, but that takes time. He could do anything before they arrest him. Jordan stood up. Something had shifted inside her. She was done being afraid. Done being the victim. We're going to fight back. But not the way Marcus expects. We're going to hit him where it really hurts. What do you mean? Victoria asked. Jordan's eyes were hard. Determined. Marcus cares about one thing more than anything else. His reputation. His status. The way people see him. So we're going to destroy that. Completely. How? We're going to tell everyone what he did. Not just the discrimination and the embezzlement. Everything. Every lie. Every crime. Every person he's hurt. We're going to make sure Marcus Chen never works in this industry again. Victoria smiled slowly. I like the way you think. They spent the morning calling reporters. Preparing statements. Gathering every piece of evidence they had. By noon, they had scheduled interviews with 5 major news networks. But at 1 o'clock, something happened that changed everything. The police called. Ms. Matthews? We need you to come down to the station. We found Marcus Chen. Did you arrest him? There was a long pause. Not exactly. He's in the hospital. Someone attacked him last night. He's in critical condition. Jordan, Victoria, and David rushed to the hospital. Police officers guarded Marcus's room. Detective Rivera stopped them. Ms. Matthews, where were you between midnight and 3 a.m.? Jordan's blood ran cold. You think I attacked him? She was with me all night, Victoria said. At my house. We have security footage. Through the window, Jordan saw Marcus in the hospital bed. Bandages covered his face. Machines beeped steadily. He looked broken. Did he say who did this? Jordan asked. He was unconscious when we found him. Still is. As they left, Jordan got another text. I did what you couldn't. You're welcome. Jordan showed Victoria. Someone thinks they helped me. 2 days later, the police arrested Emma, Marcus's former assistant. The woman who sent the discrimination video. She snapped. Detective Rivera explained. Years of watching Marcus abuse people. When she saw what he did to you, she decided to take revenge herself. Will Marcus be okay? He'll live. And he's been charged with embezzlement, fraud, and discrimination. He's going to prison for years. Emma left Jordan a letter. I know what I did was wrong. But I couldn't let him keep hurting people. Keep fighting for all of us. Jordan folded the letter. She understood Emma's pain. But this wasn't the answer. 3 weeks later, Jordan stood before cameras at a press conference. Today, we're announcing our new name, Matthews Sterling Technologies. We're building a company based on talent, not bias. Where everyone gets a fair chance. The reporters clapped. This time, the questions were supportive. In her new office, Jordan looked at the quote on her wall. They tried to bury us. They didn't know we were seeds. Sarah knocked. Jordan? Your next interview is here. A young black woman entered nervously. Ms. Matthews? I'm Alicia. I'm here for the junior developer position. I have to say, your story gave me courage to apply. I've been rejected so many times. Jordan smiled, remembering her own rejection. Tell me about your experience. After the interview, Jordan extended her hand. Alicia, welcome to Matthews Sterling Technologies. You're hired. Alicia burst into tears. Thank you. Thank you so much. After she left, Victoria entered. Another one? That's 15 talented people we've hired this month. All overlooked by other companies. And profits are up 30%, Victoria added. Turns out hiring based on talent actually works. Jordan looked out at the city. Marcus was in prison. Emma too. But Jordan was here, building something better. Her phone buzzed. Monica, dinner tonight? Jordan smiled. Absolutely. As the sun set, Jordan thought about her journey. The pain. The fight. The victory. The cost. She'd learned that justice wasn't simple. Sometimes good people made mistakes. Sometimes bad people faced consequences. And sometimes the person they said didn't belong ended up owning the building. 6 months later, Business Magazine featured Matthews Sterling Technologies on their cover. How 2 women transformed a toxic company into a beacon of change. Jordan hung that cover in the lobby. Right where everyone entering could see it. A reminder that when they slam the door in your face, you can come back and buy the whole building. Marcus Chen learned that the hard way. And Jordan Matthews? She was just getting started.